All that's happening is relevant because it is focusing the attention on the growing talent and workforce gap that's happening in factories. This is really the signal from the noise is this part. So again, starting with the United States, we have 428,000 jobs open for manufacturing, and 65%, the vast majority of manufacturers report that attracting and retaining talent is not just one of their top challenges, it is the primary business challenge to run their whole company. That's crazy. It shouldn't be that way. Like, there should be other challenges that how do I just design the best new, product, right? How do I keep my machines up or something like that? But no, the by far biggest challenge is attracting and retaining talent. And that results in 3.8 million manufacturing jobs needed by 2024. And when you break that down, very interestingly, if you look into the fine text of the slide, you see 760,000 for growth, 230,000 from legislative actions. So these big things happening in the world are accelerating this in the US context, but the biggest number by far, 2.8 million from retirement. And this is something that's happening all over the world, not just in the US context, is that this geopolitics is increasing the need for regional and local factories to hire even more talent. And at the same time, this is coming in the midst of this even greater challenge in the factory, which is the aging workforce, this growing expert labor crisis. So across the whole world, there's 10 million factories. They spend $100 billion on software. It sounds like a lot in total, but it's nothing compared to $4 trillion on labor. People run factories much more than software or machines run factories. And these people, these critical people, need 5 to 10 plus years of experience to do what they need to do. They need to learn, how do I maintain a machine? What are the key steps? Maybe they're a process engineer or industrial engineer. How do I balance these lines and lay them out? A planner. How do I do the planning in the factory, right? These different jobs require significant expertise, and expertise that you usually get on the job. Well, 10 years ago, the average tenures in most factories was 15 plus years. So this wasn't a challenge. This is how it worked. And you became highly skilled and you did the work. But now average tenures are dropping precipitously, 5 years and dropping. And again, back to the last slide, part of this is the geopolitics of new factories and new places with brand new people. But the biggest part of it is, while that's happening, we have our experts retiring, and we're replacing it with a different kind of workforce that only expects to work in a given factory for a fewer number of years. The end result is $300 billion expert labor crisis that is rapidly growing. So in manufacturing, we know that the constant call is, how do we do more with less? Every single year, how do we, create more output even though we have the same team, right? How do we waste less in the factory, right? And now, how do you do more with less expertise? That is particularly challenging in manufacturing. And some of the world's top manufacturers have realized that there's something really powerful they can do in sharing expert knowledge. And a great quote from the CEO of Flex, Revati Vaiti, is, as she says about her company, excellence anywhere is excellence everywhere. How do you make that true? How do you make it possible that excellence anywhere in your footprint, in any given factory, could become excellence everywhere in this new world?